Hey everyone, Nick Argenbright here. I want to say Nick Nitro. We'll get to that in a second. Just an FYI, this is not a normal part of the intro, but I just wanted to make a correction. I didn't want to really edit it out because the flow of the whole intro would be kind of bad. This is actually episode 338. I did a miscount before we recorded. The last episode, Judge Dallas, if you look to it, it's Judge Jimmy and Judge Dallas, which we talked about heavily in this episode, as you'll find out. But that's actually episode 337. This is episode 338. So even though we say this is 338 or 3, 2. Even though we say this is episode 337, this is really episode 338. The episode before this one is episode 337 because this is 338, not 337. Even though we say it's 337. See? I'm really just trying to see how many times I can say 337 versus 338 because this is episode 338, even though I say it's episode 337. Correct. Of course, Jimmy to say it's episode 337. So here's the intro to episode 338, along with episode 338. Sorry, I'm just peeing. This is awesome.
Ooh, Nick is podcasting while peeing.
And Jimmy's here
PWP.
watching me. He's watching.
Well, I guess somebody's got to hold it for you. Give it a shake when you're done.
Yeah, right there. Shake it like a Polaroid picture.
Shake it like a Polaroid picture. Shake it.
All right, so welcome out to episode, whatever of the
337 in the year of our Lord.
Which we do. You know what? We might talk about this later. What are your thoughts on? We'll talk about that later. What are your thoughts on God? Let's talk about that later.
Later?
Here in a bit. But
first, stay tuned to hear my thoughts on God.
But first,
back to you, Nick.
So that's Jimmy. Obviously, he's in today's episode.
Am I?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I assumed I was just doing the intro and then you were going to kick me out.
I was. I'm going to kick you out of your own house.
Yeah, I figured.
That's what's going to happen. But you should check out Pack Rat Comics. If you're online, go to packratcomics.com. You can check out their Facebook page, Twitter. I love their free comic book day, or not free comic book day, their new comic book day videos. We did Rocky and Boinkle at Free Comic Book Day 2017. It was amazing. For more information on comic books, graphic novels, t-shirts, more, packratcomics.com. And then if you want to throw some green our way, you can go to audibletrial.com/goodbadgeeky. And you get any audiobook that you would like that they have. They have over 200,000 titles to choose from. And they're pretty great. And now for the shit I do, Ultimate Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, UTMNT.com. And Rocky and Boinkle, The Magic and Unauthorized Misadventures of Rocky and Boinkle, coming back soon. They will be back at some point in June on 920 The Apple, New York, before it hits the main podcast feed, so stay tuned to that. And also, we are part of That's All Been Done Presents Network, or IABDP. And speaking of the IABDP, did you know that our network has an online store? No.
I did.
Well, you do. We do.
I know. I knew about it.
Shh. This is my moment.
Oh, sorry.
Let's start over from again. Hello, everyone. Welcome up to episode 337.
3, 2, 1.
You can buy It's All Been Done Radio Hour t-shirts, scripts, and programs, and there's even a Universe Journey novel, Love's Love.
Love's Lust Lost.
Fuck.
Say it 5 times fast.
Love's Lust Lost. 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 Fuck you.
That wasn't fast.
That was fast for me.
The last two were.
I said that 3 times fast. What the fuck are you talking about? Well, either way, Love's Lust Lost. That furthers the adventures of the crew of the Thrifty. I'm sorry about that.
And I hear Captain Kake has quite an alien sexual encounter in that book.
He
with
does.
Multiple partners at once.
He does. It's not all just radio hour stuff either. You can also buy whole seasons of God is my BFF.
No, fix that.
No, what do you mean? It's God. It's
not God.
It says right here, God.
G-O-D is my BFF.
You act like you're the creator of me. You're not the creator of me. I'm Captain Kake, damn it.
Do you know how many people have said God is my BFF?
I know. I did that on purpose.
It's in the Mad Lab official ad that gets played on podcasts.
I did that just to piss you off.
I know you did, but it's not God is my BFF.
No, it's not. That's why I hesitated before I said it.
Yeah.
I feel like that was that moment in Good Will Hunting where he's looking at the painting. Mm-hmm. It's brilliant acting by Matt Damon, and his eyes just go, I'm going after Sean. And he just goes after, and that's what I did right there. That little pause, that was me going.
Oh, I know.
But then I was like, I'm doing it as Kake, so it works.
No,
it really is. God is my BFF, which is actually quite good. And there's more.
And not very religious.
No, not at all. No, not at all. And that's very important. God is my BFF, and there was more work coming soon. So check it out at iabdpresents.com. Actually, isn't Stork's... Fuck! I can never say this right.
Stark Story Snacks?
Snort. Fuck it. You said it right.
I did.
If I'm not looking at it, I'm going to fuck it up even more.
What about Stark Story Snacks?
Isn't that being compiled? I'm not... No, I'm going to touch that with the 10-foot pole. 5-time-foot pole. Isn't that being condensed and going to be released here soon, I thought?
The stories themselves are already there for free, but we will be taking them down and selling an illustrated edition of Season 1. So
ooh, I got to work on something real quick.
There are a variety of artists providing artwork for it.
I forgot to.
And it's going to be awesome.
No, I actually drew one of them. Just throwing it out there, I'm one of the artists. Dan Kondo from...
I drew another one and signed it as your name. No, I didn't.
I was going to say, you're going to sell your own artwork?
Nope.
Are you? I was going to say, because you're a smart man.
No, I want to sell the artwork, Nick. I don't want to run the company into the ground.
I don't want to give it away. I want to sell it to people.
No, I meant I don't want to run the company in the ground by selling bad artwork.
So
my artwork belongs on your refrigerator and no place else.
Oh, thank Christ. So yeah, we talk about episode 337. Jimmy's obviously back.
And front.
And not, that is true. And also to the side a little bit. Mm-hmm. You've been losing weight, so we can now see your side.
We might have another guest on the podcast here shortly as well.
That is correct. And it's not.
She doesn't say very much, but she was on it. Or she will be on it.
She will be on it. That's right.
Yeah, because we haven't recorded it yet.
Not at all.
No.
Let's just keep that going.
No.
You know what? I'll actually take that and loop it. So it sounds good. And so I think we should loop it. What do you think?
No.
So, but actually, I'll cut that out and actually put us doing the nose and just loop it that way because I'm that much of an asshole. And then people will turn it off. And then it's like, but you missed a good episode. Which I think we're going to have. I don't know yet. But
it depends what you want to talk about.
Let's talk about maybe, obviously, Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Twin Peaks. Yeah.
I need to go watch Twin Peaks, and we can talk about it.
Oh, that's true.
So would you mind pausing for 32 hours while I watch the 30 episodes in the movie?
I will wait for that. Yes.
Okay.
I will wait for that.
I'll be right back in 32 hours.
As long as we can also maybe talk about Silicon Valley, Veep, West Wing, because I love me some West Wing, and also where the hell we've been. So that's fun.
So yeah, just hit pause. 32 hours. I'll be back.
32 hours, and not a second more. Not an hour more. Would it be an hour? It's actually
probably less because most of the episodes are like 40 minutes. They're not really an hour.
So wait a minute. Let's do math.
Oh my god.
Because I suck at math. Shut up. Don't do this for me. Don't take this away from me because I'm using a calculator and I'll feel smart.
Okay.
So, and these are older episodes, so really probably 45.
No, they were mostly like 42, 43.
42, but I mean that's if you've seen them.
Oh no, I already looked at what the running times were.
Oh, okay. That's how it was. Yeah. Okay. Let's just play it safe and go 43.
Okay.
Round it up. 43 times how many episodes? 32?
30.
30?
But the first episode had an extra 20 minutes, and the last episode had an extra 10 minutes. And then the Firewalk with me was like...
That's not right.
135 minutes.
There we go. So that's 1,290 minutes. If you divide that by 60, that means it's 21... hours and 5. So actually,
I need to sleep a couple hours, so let's do 24 hours from now. Pause for 24 hours.
We're going to pause it for 24 hours.
Yep.
Now, here's the beauty about technology, people. Mm-hmm. I have a device on my phone which is transmitting into my Zoom mic, which is then going into my board that will freeze time for you. So
I think our audience should hit pause and go watch it too.
Well, you're an asshole. I was working that in beautifully, and then you fucked it all up.
I think you should.
Go ahead, hit pause.
I think you should leave
pause.
No, I don't think they should hit pause. I think you should leave 24 hours of dead space in the middle of this episode.
Oh my god, you know how long that would kill
That would kill.
I don't know.
Hours on Libsyn.
I think you'd have to like
episode 400. I will do that.
No, don't do that.
Oh, that'd be so funny.
You're gonna have to pay like $200 for that one episode to host it.
But the joke is so good.
It is, but it's not that good.
Actually, you upload it to YouTube as the lost episode.
There you go.
And that way, no harm, no foul.
There you go.
And yeah. So, but yeah, episode 337 of The Good, the Bad, and the Geeky, and we'll call it something.
Something? That's a great name. It's called something.
It's called something. Yeah. Is it quotation something or in quotation, it's called something?
No, it's just the word something.
Just the word something.
Just the word something.
Everybody here's Just the Word Something, episode 337 of The Good, the Bad, and the Geeky.
Cherry pie.
Oh boy. Recording.
Are we?
We are, and this is like what the first of what a very long time.
It has been quite a while.
It has been. Well, you've been busy.
I was trapped in the negative zone for a while.
With Zod.
With Zod.
Yeah, who is actually here, but you won't hear them say a thing.
She probably won't say anything.
Yeah, actually.
But she is out of the negative zone now with me.
That's right.
I wasn't even thinking about her being Zod when I said I was trapped in the negative zone. That's nice how it all works together nicely.
Yeah, way to go. Way to stumble your way through fatherhood and through...
Little Zoe is 4 weeks old yesterday, and she is joining us on the podcast. Her third podcast.
Yeah, I'm a little bitter about that. Not really. You record so many podcasts now these days.
Well, and both of the other ones were here in my house.
Yeah, so it makes it easier. That's why when the mountain can't go to Muhammad, you start praising Jesus, and then you record with Jesus.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Hi, little Jesus. Fuck God, I'm talking to you. That really
She's
made
an
no
atheist,
sense.
so she didn't appreciate that.
Well, you don't know what she is yet.
I know, she's an atheist.
Are you also going to... What if she wants to play sports, Jimmy?
I don't know. She'll play sports.
Okay, well, that seems a little...
She doesn't have to stay an atheist if she doesn't want to stay an atheist. Well, that's for the moment, she's an atheist.
Oh, yeah, okay. I for a second, I was like, is that where he's going? I was like, but you can never tell with Jimmy. Can never tell with Jimmy.
I'm not going to force her to be something she doesn't want to be, but she's going to be a smart child, so she'll stay an atheist.
Oh, dear God.
No, there's no God. We were just covering that.
Oh, yeah. Good. Wow. Oh, Jesus. This is a few days after recording an episode of Judge Dallas, which that did not go.
Bastard.
That did not go at all how I planned it to. And then he kind of spiraled out of control with the lack thereof. Which, Dallas, if you're listening, which I know he won't, you were great. You were great.
I was not. No, I was awful as a lawyer.
No, actually, you came up with a really good, which is like, Nick, if you would... well, you'll hear it.
I was supposed to be a witness, not a lawyer.
I was supposed to be the lawyer and not the witness. And I'm not going to lie, it sucks so hard when your person doesn't know what to ask you. And I felt instant sorrow.
Like me? When I didn't know what to ask you?
No, you asked me some good questions, actually.
Did I? I just had you, ask yourself questions.
And that sometimes is all you need to do.
Okay.
Well, actually, you said, if I wasn't arguing for you, I'm arguing against what you're whatever for.
What would you say?
What would you say? Yeah, and that
now,
was
is this going to go up before or after that episode?
We'll find out.
Okay.
Actually,
because we're either spoiling or recapping what the people have already heard.
It'll probably go out after. That's the goal.
So we're recapping what the people have already heard.
Yeah, if you don't know what we're talking about, go to gbgpodcast.com and check out past episodes.
Woohoo!
Yeah, but no, that was really funny. So... I think your wife looks awesome carrying a big thing. That's why
a big thing.
What would we say? Like a big,
a big bundle of pea-soaked towels.
Okay, that part's not fun.
Okay,
but you know how back in the 20s, people romanticize people drifters. Mm-hmm. They have their big sacks on
the
their
hobos
back.
With the bindles.
Yeah, bindles. That's what they're called. But
yes.
But it looks like you take the stick out of the bindle and you're just carrying. Clothes, like Santa Claus,
right?
But instead,
no, she was just carrying one giant towel, beach towel, with lots of bath and hand towels, all soaked in pee, down to the laundry room.
Can I also just say your wife is glowing?
Aw.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're okay.
Nah.
Yeah. The
About as good as I could ever be.
Baby is, of course, very cute.
Ah, the baby's awesome.
Yeah, which the first picture of me holding her is me panicking out because I was cool this time, and the last few times we started making noises because I was like, am I doing something wrong? And everyone was just like, until Morgan was like, ooh, maybe you should take her. Like,
you're going to have to put her picture as your episode photo now so people know who you're talking about.
I am perfectly fine with that.
Okay.
I am perfectly fine with that. But yeah, so what else has been going on? Why have we not done an episode together in a while?
Having a baby's not excuse enough.
No, you're an impresario. I hate that you told me that because now I will never forget it.
My name is Balthazar, impresario.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm listed at the bottom of the page. So Doctor Who, the BBC show.
Yes. You actually caught up on it.
I am caught up on it.
Yeah, well, I said...
I'm caught up on very few shows, but I'm caught up on that.
Yeah, well, thank you, by the way,
You're
for
welcome.
taking time of your schedule to
I
catch
watched
up on
the
it.
first 3 episodes before they aired ahead, but then episode 4 I had not watched, and we were talking on the day episode 5 aired, and I found time yesterday to squeeze in those 2 episodes, 4 and 5, of season 10 of the new reboot.
And so the episodes have been, let's just throw them out there for everybody.
Sure.
There's the pilot, which is clever
I
title.
liked the
I like
title.
that title.
Yes.
Because technically it's a new pilot.
Sort of.
Technically.
New companion.
Yes. But the concept is someone is piloting a girl who has something in her eye, and it all originates from a puddle. And then also it introduces...
I hate when that happens.
Yeah, me too. It's the worst. You know, you're
All the
walking
time.
along.
I feel like it happens pretty much every week.
That is true, but is it always a puddle though? The puddle is a metaphor for other things, like weird wood creatures or bugs that live in wood.
What?
Yeah,
Okay.
which was episode
5. 4. You're right. 4.
Yeah,
The
4
house.
called Knock Knock. There was episode 2, Smile, which is a swarm of robots called Vardis.
That was the emoji episode.
Which are slow but sentient emoji bots. Thin Ice, which I really like that one.
That
a
was
lot.
cool. That was a real festival, apparently.
It was.
It was awesome.
It teaches you history.
Now I understand why there's stairs down to the Thames.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Knock Knock was the one we just talked about. Mother and son teamwork with bugs to keep mommy alive and trap and kill the inhabitants. Which
Except we
Bill
were
and her
supposed to
mates.
believe it was a daughter and father.
That
You
is
just
true.
gave away the twist.
Yeah, but if they're listening to this, hopefully they would know spoilers.
Okay, River.
Yeah, that's right. That wasn't intentional this time. And then the one that just aired was Oxygen. A space station sends a distress call, and the doctor answers. The suits in the
That
system
was my
work
least
together.
favorite of the 5 so far.
I agree, but the thing...
Well, I didn't think the 4 was that great either. I thought the first 3 were very strong, and 4 and 5 were just.
Well, wait, 4 was
episodes.
Knock Knock. Oh, I liked Knock Knock. I thought it was the proper amount of creepy.
I still think 4 and 5 were better than most of the last couple seasons because we've had some run of some bad Doctor Who. So I'm not saying they were bad episodes. They just were not as good as the first 3 episodes of the season.
Who's the guy that's running this show after Moffat?
I don't
Isn't
remember.
the guy who did Broadchurch, isn't it?
I believe that sounds correct.
So see, I'm very excited, but I wonder if he's a fan of creepy Doctor Who or catchy
This season's
Doctor Who.
been extra creepy. They've really zeroed in on the
My
creepy.
wife has complained a lot of nights because we watch it like Saturday night late or Sunday night late before John Oliver. She's like, I'm going to have nightmares of little bugs crawling all over the wall, through the wall, and just eating me. And I'm like, and she hasn't, luckily, but like
She hasn't been eaten? That's good.
Well, no, that too. Yeah, she hasn't had the nightmares either.
Oh, good.
But yeah, she's afraid of a weird giant fish in the water. The suits one, she didn't really say that too. But
When we kept talking about, we wondered if Moffat would replace Capaldi mid-season, which, as much as I don't want Capaldi to go, would be cool if we don't see it coming when the Doctor changes.
I've kind of yeah. So this is the point.
Now I'm watching it like now every week. If I don't get this coming week's episode by like Tuesday or Wednesday, I have not gotten this week's yet. I'm always like, oh, is this the week they're going to replace the Doctor?
Okay.
Because I assume I won't get a screener of that episode ahead.
So here's the thing too. So
Yeah.
off air, I have said to you,
Yes.
I was like, there are rumors that, and the BBC is being very coy, that they already supposedly cast Doctor Who.
Yes.
And the site I got that from is a site, like they're tied with comic book resources, but it's like a fan site that usually, they're the ones that first report like Doctor Who's bleeding producers because Moffat is just fighting with everybody because, you know.
Such a shame.
And also that BBC was not happy with Moffat, which has kind of come out as being true because he's focusing more. Well, no, I can too. They're hemorrhaging viewers.
Moffat did some brilliant work.
He's good at episodes, I feel like.
No, he did some brilliant work, but it's been a while, and he hasn't continued that brilliant work, so it's time for him to move on.
I feel like, you and I will have another disagreement here with this, but to me, feel like the final Matt Smith episode is a perfect example of Moffat's entire... But see, I don't. I feel like those last 4 minutes of his goodbye is amazing. Yeah, the idea that he lives so long is in theory great, but the execution of it I did not love because I felt like it's just another episode, and that's what made me mad.
I didn't feel like that at all.
Oh, I totally did.
Except I thought Moffat did well with the big epic stuff for a long time. I have long said that the 10th Doctor's my Doctor. I love David Tennant.
Yeah.
But I thought the stories for the 11th Doctor were better. I thought the Amy Rory years were the best storytelling they've done of the modern reboot.
In terms of one-offs, I will say, yeah.
Not just one-offs.
Well, yeah, but you really only have, at that point, really, you're just building up to River Song. I feel like.
The build to River Song was great.
And I agree. But
and after we met River Song, it was still great. And I thought they did lots of cool stuff with Amy and Rory. I don't think the show started to suffer until they got Clara. And the episodes that actually focused in on Clara's mythology were actually good episodes, but overall, I did not like Clara.
I know.
And I didn't like Clara years.
There's a part of me that wishes Joe was here, because Joe's on my side. Like, he enjoyed...
Now, I love the Patarnus gang. Or Patarnus?
Sure.
Whatever.
I know who you're talking about. The lizard... It's not Drax. It's the guy... Yeah, he's so stupid.
Yes. The episodes with them were great. I think Capaldi's great. I love Bill. I've thought this season is back to being good again. Like, really good.
Oh, yeah. I agree. Now, who do you think is in the vault? It's the Master.
So, the end of the preview for next week, this week, because they did play it on the screener site, showed Missy very briefly.
For a second.
Now... But if she is the one in the vault, I'm going to be super, super, super fucking pissed at them for putting that in the trailer.
Now,
so it can't be her in my mind. If it is, I'm just done.
Now, here's the thing I'm going to find
really interesting. And that's why I don't watch previews and trailers. That one kind of snuck up on me.
Oh, see, I called that from day one.
I would have turned it off, but I was holding the baby, and I didn't realize they were going to put the trailer on the screener site, because I wasn't watching on TV. I was watching it from a screener site.
Oh.
And so
I would figure, because that's considered part of the episode usually, is like they always do after the end of the credits next time.
A lot of screeners that I watch don't even have the end credits on them.
Wow.
So, not Doctor Who specifically, just in general. And Doctor Who always has the end credits on them, but I did not expect the preview there, and I did not get to turn off my TV fast enough. Wow. To be fair, the other Doctor Who screeners I watched, I probably turned it off before it would have got to that point anyway, because once the credits start, I'm like, whatever.
We always are just like, it's going to happen next?
No, that's why I hate spoiling things. If Missy's in the vault, I'm pissed. I'm super pissed.
She's going to be in the vault, man.
She can't be.
Why not?
Because they spoiled it with the trailer.
Well, okay.
If she had been in the vault and they hadn't showed that bit in the trailer, I'd be cool with it.
Now,
the fact that it was in the commercial means she can't be in the vault for me.
Here's the thing that I think is interesting, and they haven't got to yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. Again, it's multiple sites have confirmed it, and the actor has confirmed it. I hate to spoil this for you, but the guy who played the Master during David Tennant's run has been reported filming multiple episodes of Doctor Who.
That'd be great. Missy's dead too, isn't she?
Yeah, no.
I thought she died.
That was the thing. No, she didn't die in the last season. You thought she died in the season before that, where she got evaporated, and that was the whole thing.
And she wasn't really dead. You're right. Okay, now I remember.
Yeah. No, you freaked me out for a second. Yeah, because that was her whole plan all along.
I like Missy. I like the female Master.
I do too. I know. I really do. I feel like that's the only good thing. I don't know. Again, I'm getting kind of weary of Moffat a little bit. So I just Shane, who's been on this podcast before, he's also in It's All But Done. He kind of agrees with you. Shane?
Who?
Well, okay.
I'm just kidding.
I know. So
I got Nick off his track.
Yeah. Shane was actually on Clara up until the whole when she should have died.
She should have freaking died in the Dalek and brought it full circle. Early into her final season.
But here's the other thing too, and this is why I feel like Moffat does this shit all the time. And it's not just with Clara. He introduces things and then doesn't really have them pay off. I feel like he goes after what he really wants to, and it's almost like fucking Lost sometimes, which is like not as bad, not at all as bad, but I feel like there's one or two things every once in a while. And
Lost paid off what it needed to pay off.
I actually agree with you, honestly. But I'm talking about like the big mysteries, which the show did kind of hammer home. I
thought in the Amy Rory days he did pay off the mysteries.
But
I also watched them on binging. I didn't catch up to live until the end of the Amy Rory era, so I rushed through it. I may be misremembering some things.
No, well, when I watched the first season of Matt Smith, I remember I didn't love Matt Smith until the end of the show, and the end of the season. And then when I rewatched it with the missus, maybe it's just because I loved him at that point. Mm-hmm. It didn't feel, but I just felt like, oh, you are making him kind of unlikable up until this point because he has to rebuild Amy or whatever to rebuild the universe or whatever.
Yep.
But
he's doing her power fist.
Power fist, that's right. Raise your hands up in the air like you just don't fucking care. And then go to sleep. I'm that good. She was adorable.
I know.
I know you know, but I'm not used to it all that well. Actually, that's not true.
I'm still not getting used to it. It's just...
You helped create that. That's awesome.
She looks so much like my family, and there's like almost no Morgan in there at all. Like maybe her nose. I hope when she gets a little older, she'll probably look more like Morgan. But right now, she looks like all of my family baby pictures.
I feel like the nose and the eyes a little bit.
I think nose might be Morgan's, but the rest of the face and the body type and size, Overfield all the way. And she looks very, very close to Melissa's baby picture, my sister's baby picture.
Really?
Very close. So,
way to birth your sister.
Okay.
No, I know. I was hoping that would be creepy or something like that, and then you just rolled with it because that's how you do. Was that Melissa's?
Mm-hmm. When she was a day old.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Folks, I wish you could see it, but like it's dear God.
Yeah, Morgan's okay with it because she's like, well, your sister's pretty, so if she looks like your sister, it's fine.
Well, good news is too is that she was born at Mount Carmel.
My sister, yes.
Yeah, your sister.
Not my baby.
Where was you guys at? Grant? No.
OSU.
That's right. OSU. Good hospital, I've heard.
Great hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Highly recommend it for birthing babies.
But yeah, so Doctor Who, do you need help, man?
No.
Jimmy is holding a baby, grabbing a drink, putting something else away. He's opening the bottle. He is a he's throwing something away, still holding the baby. He's walking now. He's a multi-talented man, ladies and gentlemen.
It's a baby. She doesn't take two hands to hold. I only with two hands for the first couple hours. Maybe. No, not even. Not even. I think I probably held her with two hands till I got her out of the operating room. That's about it.
No, that's true. I was holding her earlier. I was not really using two hands. I was using one hand to kind of like, ooh, goo goo gaga stuff, but and I wasn't doing goo goo gaga.
It was funny. Colleen was holding her the other day when she was over here, and her and Steven were drinking vodka mixed drinks, and Steven poured her a second one and handed it to her, and I was like, are you drinking fucking liquor while you're holding my baby? And she was like, you were when I walked in. I thought it was okay. I'm like, yeah, no, you're fine. She walked in and I had liquor in my hand.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's awesome.
I thought it was funny.
Yeah, Doctor Who. Yeah, I don't know, man.
If it's not Missy, who do you think's in the vault?
Maybe.
Let's assume for a minute it's not her.
Maybe it's one of the original, because we know that I think is what his farewell swan song is, because he loves them, is the original, oh shit, what are they?
Dalek?
No.
Cybermen?
Ooh. Because they showed that in the trailer, like back in the San Diego Comic-Con trailer, where they introduced Bill, of her just running down the hallway and running into a Dalek. which they kind of did.
That was in the first episode.
Yeah, but no, this is like it was like a thing they kind of shot just for it, and I think they kind of put some of that in the one episode because people really liked it. But literally, then they showed clips of her and him running from the original Cybermen, and it looked creepy as crap.
I would like to see a Cyberman.
And Capaldi always has said, like, my favorite are the original Cybermen, the creepy ones with the weird, like, and the fake eyes, like.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it could be that, or I think it's maybe it's multiple things, like Missy and the Cyberman and something else. Because if you think of though, if you see how well he's taking care of it, that's why I think it's the Master. Like he is kind of taking care of it. Bill is fucking scared as shit, but he's being more very protective of it. Like, can I come in?
I think
I brought you Mexican.
Yeah, let's play chess. I think Nardal's been a little wasted this season. I always love when they have two companions, but I know he got to do a lot in the 5th episode, which I did not really enjoy all that much. But I liked him better in the second episode. First and second? Or just first?
Well, technically the first episode of the season is the episode.
Yeah.
Technically it's the first episode with the superhero Christmas episode.
Oh, yeah, he was in that. And then
when I was getting
pilot.
my notes for today's show, because I didn't remember all those titles. I was reading it off a list. But I neglected to put it here because I kind of feel like it's its own thing. They might release it on DVD as season 1.
The Christmas episodes aren't considered part of the season.
Yeah.
Not officially.
I know they said...
IMBD groups it because IMBD doesn't know how to deal with it.
Wikipedia said season 1, part 1, and it had the Christmas episode as first. But again, that's a sales thing.
Yeah.
But, so I didn't count that. But yeah, the pilot, I think it's going to be Missy. But I just want to know how the hell they're going to...
Maybe it's Nardal's body. The mechanical body. I don't think it is.
The giant... No,
I don't think it is.
He would...
I don't like to predict things.
But here's the thing. Right. Who made him promise?
I don't know.
That's the other thing. I think people are so concerned about what's in the vault, they're not asking who he made the promise to. And I think that in itself is also could be possibly more troubling.
Could it be Jenna?
Really? It could be Jenna? That would be interesting.
Gemma, what?
Kate.
Kate. That's who I'm thinking of. Sorry, not Gemma. Kate. Lethbridge Stewart.
Oh.
Or something to do with Unit. I always like the Unit stuff.
Well, now he could have made the promise to Unit, but it still leaves...
That's what I'm saying. Did he make the promise to Kate Lethbridge Stewart?
Yeah.
Or to Osgood?
Well, I think that's the other thing that kind of bums me out too, and I hope the guy from Broadchurch does this, which is, look, I get that you want to do your own thing and start your own universe, but I feel like Moffat just did a...
Moffat didn't use much of Tennant's around.
He will... Well, there were times where it's like you could have just quickly thrown in a reference in there, and he just didn't even do that.
I mean, we need to follow up with the Doctor's Daughter.
Honestly, it wasn't until this last year where I think he made like a Jack reference, and you're like, finally, is he going to show up? Because him and Tennant... And then you thought it was Day of the Doctor, and it's like, no, I'm actually just visiting David Tennant and Billy Piper while they're shooting the Day of the Doctor because they're my friends. And you're like, God damn it, I want Jack back so bad. Just a quick something.
I want another season of Torchwood.
Actually, they're doing a comic book they announced a few days ago.
So while we're talking about Torchwood, the new spinoff, The Class.
Oh, good point. So I'm not excited to watch episode 2, and I probably won't. Did you watch episode 2 yet? Because that's one thing we didn't talk about. I feel bad if you did.
I am not excited to watch episode 2, and I probably will. But I did not think episode 1 was that great. It was definitely no Torchwood.
I kind of wish, and again, and this is where I feel like the BBC got pitched a really awesome show, and I feel like they kind of would be like, well, we wanted to succeed, so let's just tie it to Doctor Who. That's kind of how I felt. Oh. It kind of... That's not saying that's what actually happened. Because... I'm sorry, if I feel to do a spinoff really properly, you need to have a character that you are rooting for. Sometimes I feel like it's for it to really work. Now, granted, sometimes you can do that and it won't work at all, like Joey. That's its own thing. But I kind of think of Frasier as a good example of that. Like Frasier's a good pinnacle of it. Also Rhoda. Mm-hmm. Again, now you're going sitcom-y a little bit, American sitcoms. But what was the other one? It was Maude.
They should have done a spinoff of the
Jeffersons. These are all
Patanero gang or whatever.
Now that to me makes sense.
Would have been awesome,
and that is awesome because you care about those characters, and you.
Or I would have killed for a River Song spinoff. I still would.
River Song is another good example, or like even a mini series or something like that. But like, I kind of feel like I kind of wish that Class was somehow set up earlier in Doctor Who, and then this season ends.
Well, I get they're tying it to the school that's been part of Doctor Who since the beginning. So that to me is, if the school's a character, if that plays in, then I'm okay with that being the spinoff. What I thought about the pilot was it was way too formula, way too like, okay, this is this perfectly diverse group of kids that would never be friends in real life, but all of a sudden become immediate besties, and none of them are interesting or dynamic all that much. The character I really, really enjoyed was the woman that's pretending to be the teacher that's protecting the alien prince. I enjoyed her a lot. She was the only character I enjoyed. The rest of them, I was like, whatever, I'm bored.
So,
and the fact that you set them up as the group of heroes, that they're your protagonists, and then they're facing the bad guy, and at the key moment, Doctor Who swoops in all Deus Ex Machina to save the day, was kind of bullshit.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I kind of wish, like, if we established at some
Doctor,
point,
not Doctor Who.
Well,
I apologize.
No, I get you. No, I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
no, there's
I'm not.
Well,
if I heard somebody else call him Doctor Who, I would be annoyed.
Well, I guess I kind of don't really care. I mean, I care, but I don't, like, because I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
And then we just wasted like a minute talking about how to pronounce the Doctor. 3, 2, 1. I'm not.
You got Woo's doing that now. You see
I
that?
know. I love it. Which, by the way, we were both talking. I was like, he couldn't cut out all the 3, 2, 1s. And I was like, yay.
I can cut them all out.
Yeah. It's all been tracked podcast. You should listen to that. You can hear one of.
I also don't cut out all the Star Wars shit.
No, you do not. You do not.
I cut out some of it, not all of it.
But I just, that's why I kind of wish that they had some, because then it would have felt better that Doctor Who did show up. Like, I kind of wish that the whole thing about the alien species, like that was an episode I would have liked to seen, where maybe they get there and they do see all the creatures being killed off, and then he rescues them and saves them. And, like, I think that would be an interesting twist, is that you don't follow the one kid, who's the prince. You actually follow one of the normal people. They die. Then he goes, well, I can save the prince at least, and this girl right here. And then he gets them out. And then that, but I know it's coulda, shoulda, woulda.
It just wasn't a very good pilot.
It wasn't.
But I like to give shows more than one episode if I feel like there's a good chance they'll be good. And given the Doctor Who pedigree, I'll give it a shot.
I guess my problem is that being that I'm starting to lose more ground on what I watch. Like, there are shows on Netflix I've added to my queue.
I'm much pickier.
I'm much more pickier, and also it's just like,
the Doctor
what
Who,
do I want to watch right now?
I love the Doctor Who brand so much, that's the only reason it's getting a second chance.
Yes. So I agree with that 100%, and it's okay. So, yeah, I don't know. I wanted to, like, because here's the thing, too. The basic idea that one girl is also at some point a ticking time bomb, kind of, that she might die, that's cool, too. Also, the one kid who was... Oh, I also hated the fact that the tone went from a kind of scary sci-fi thing to a fucking horror movie. And then, like, when they cut off that dude's leg... Yeah, and I was just like, wow, because it's almost like Evil Dead laughable. Like, cut his leg off and blood spurts everywhere, and you're going like, or no, his girlfriend dies first. You're like, Jesus Christ. So that just bothered the crap out of me. Yeah,
I probably would have watched it by now, except that I've been trying to get through Twin Peaks before the new series starts next week.
You have the whole show?
I do, and I have watched everything except the missing pieces now, which is the 90 minutes of deleted scenes from Firewalk with Me. Okay,
so did you enjoy the season?
Yeah, I did. It is... I watched all 30 episodes and the Firewalk with Me prequel.
There's 30 episodes of Twin Peaks?
Yeah, they did 2 seasons.
What?
First season was only 8 episodes, and then they did a full 22 episode season.
Are you shitting me?
And then Firewalk with Me, they made after the year after thing, but it was like a full-fledged film they took to Cannes. It wasn't just a TV movie.
Yeah, I couldn't.
It was good.
I did not like it.
Did you watch the series?
No.
See,
I watched it off and on.
I think you need the context, and maybe it's because I watched it like immediately after finishing it.
What's his name wasn't in the movie? I don't know if I remember. Laughlin wasn't in it.
He was in it. He just wasn't in as much as they would have liked him to be.
Okay.
He did a few scenes. David Bowie was in really, really brief. Kiefer Sutherland was in the movie.
I don't remember that at all. Yeah. I just remember the one guy.
Heather Graham made a cameo, even though she didn't show up till late season 2 of the show.
Okay, I need to just go back and rewatch the show.
You should. Season 1 was good and high quality. Season 2 got so fucking weird because season 1 was a little weird, but it wasn't so fucking weird.
Yeah.
Season 2 got really, really fucking weird, but I kind of delighted in the glorious weirdness that it was.
That's good. Well said.
Kind of annoyed that it ended on a cliffhanger, but I felt like Firewalk with Me kind of played a little bit to that cliffhanger, even though that Firewalk with Me took place before that.
Okay.
But all the weird stuff with like don't trust the owls and the giant and the dancing, short guy and all that stuff is just, the stuff with the cherry pie. There were the Bob the killer, who the story behind how they cast him is so awesome because he was the prop guy. And what had happened was he got in one of their shots and he was in the background of a scene unintentionally. And then they saw the film and they're like, oh, he looks creepy back there. Let's leave him in the scene. And now he's going to be Bob. And he still served as a prop guy the entire time. But then they also used him as Bob.
That's awesome.
Right?
See, happy accidents in film.
Well, David
Lynch,
he casts a lot of non-actors. He likes to work with non-actors.
Yeah. Well, did you hear that after his experience working on the TV show at Twin Peaks, he's done with film?
With movies?
Yeah. He's just going to focus on TV.
The new Twin Peaks you're talking about?
No, just in general.
Because he made movies after the old Twin Peaks.
No, I know, but I'm talking about in general. After the new Twin Peaks, he's said that I'm done with film. I'm just going to focus on TV if I want to.
He can tell bigger stories with TV. And that's why he did Firewalk with Me as a prequel, because they had asked for a film from him and he wasn't done with the Twin Peaks universe. I'm excited because there were parts of Twin Peaks where they're like, I'll see you again in 25 years. Laura Palmer tells Kyle MacLachlan's character.
Yeah.
And it's been 27 years, but it's close enough. And
then you can sit there and
26.
say it was 25.
Right.
Yeah.
There was just so many cool things in it. And I'm sad that several of the cast have passed away.
Is it
since
still
then.
very weird?
What?
I
haven't watched the new one yet. That's why I'm up to it.
Oh,
now. I'm going to watch it tonight or tomorrow.
Wait. No. I thought you had said you had watched the new Twin Peaks.
No, the old. The 30 episodes of the old.
I was so excited listening to all you talk.
I'm just talking about the old.
Listeners, I am apologizing right now for my compatriot here. He has misled us all on this wild goose chase of enjoyment.
You just weren't listening.
I was listening.
They're making 18 episodes of the new one.
You got baby brain, sir.
Okay.
Baby brain.
No, I watched the 30 episodes of the old one.
Okay, Jesus Christ.
But I'm sad.
That's why I was like, 30 episodes?
No, they're only doing
30
18
episodes
of the
new show?
No, they're doing 18, which is still a lot.
Still 2 seasons, right?
No, 18's what they're doing for the new one season. Yeah.
See, you fucked
which
up
is
everything.
The longest
that's
season.
Why, that's why I was asking you like some kind of goddamn grinning idiot. Like, 2 seasons from new episodes?
Oh, no. But I would not be surprised if they do another season.
They're
after
bad
this.
And you should feel bad.
Okay.
I mean, seriously.
I'm
I know
misunderstanding.
You don't. Yeah, I'm sure.
Whatever.
You know what? This is how fake news gets started, people.
So, I'm sad the doctor died. I guess he filmed like one episode before he died.
Oh, he was the guy that was in one of the SUV or Law and Order movies.
I don't know.
He's a character actor. He's been in tons of stuff.
And I'm really sad the log lady died. I guess she did multiple episodes, but she passed away before. She passed away just in like January.
There's the one doctor. He's the physician. He has like kind of bald, like but short cut hair.
Gray.
Yeah.
He played Lara Flynn Boyle's father in the show.
Okay.
Lara Flynn Boyle's not back. Nor is Moira Kelly, who played the same character in Firewalk with Me, because Lara Flynn Boyle didn't want to do the Firewalk with Me. So they didn't ask either one of them back.
But are we sad about that though?
Yeah, because Donna's kind of important. And they didn't have I don't think Heather Graham's coming back, which is sad.
Okay, but here's the thing too. What has Laura Flynn Boyle done lately?
I don't care. I want to find out what happened with the character.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm sorry. She has nothing. From what I can see, she has nothing going on right now. You need to fucking ante up and fucking do.
I don't know if she was asked. I don't know.
Well, that could be true too.
She was asked. So there's like 230 some actors announced for these 18 episodes. It's crazy how many people are in it, and the vast majority of the original cast are back. But the one that bugs me, besides Lara Flynn Boyle, but that bugs me on behalf of her. The one that bugs me on behalf of the show, that I'm kind of annoyed with the show, is Piper Laurie's character, Catherine. I understand that.
Who's Piper Laurie again? The actress. Who is she?
She's an actress. I couldn't tell you what else she's been in off the top
That
of my
name
head,
sounds
but
so
she's
familiar.
been in
Sorry,
stuff.
go ahead.
I understand that the guy that played her husband and then the guy that played like her brother, like the other actors in her subplot going on in Twin Peaks are dead, other than the Asian girl that played Josie, and they didn't ask her back either. But her character was kind of dead. They left her trapped in a drawer, and her body was dead. So whatever. But I thought they should have had Piper Laurie back.
Oh.
And Piper Laurie released a statement where she was like, I would have loved to come back. They didn't ask me, but she's like, but I'm sure it's going to be great and I can't wait to watch the show, which is totally classy. But now they have to get a second season just so they can bring her back, in my opinion. I'm really excited that Ray Wise, is back full time, even though he died like midway through season 2. His character, Leland.
Yeah.
Because he's the one that killed Laura Palmer.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be like in the Black Lodge or something to do with that, which would be awesome. And the woman that played Laura Palmer, who died, twice in the show, both as Laura Palmer and as Laura Palmer's cousin, is also back full time.
Interesting.
So I don't know if she's playing Laura Palmer again, like in the Black Lodge, or a whole totally different character. I don't see why she'd play her cousin again, because her cousin died, but whatever. Because when she was cast as Laura Palmer, David Lynch was like, no, I like you, I want to use you, I'm just going to like dye your hair and you're going to play her cousin now. And she did for a while. And then they killed her too.
That's awesome.
So Heather Graham was killed, but it was such a pivotal like role towards the end. I feel like they should have brought her back in the Black Lodge or whatever. I think if they do a second season, they'll probably fix the few people they didn't invite back. They've invited back so many people. I mean, a lot of them are going to be in it.
I wonder if it's just maybe not just even the actor or actresses. Maybe it's just David Lynch doesn't want to work with them for whatever reason.
Or he's just got his vision and they didn't quite fit in it.
I mean, that could be...
Could be a story decision.
He is an interesting guy. Like, he doesn't... Which, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I just feel like sometimes, I don't care of all the other weird shit you do. Just bring, have some story semblance.
Now, Piper Laurie, do you remember when she played her second character in the old series?
No, I do not.
So this was really great. This really impressed me. It was like the end of season 1 or beginning of season 2. They made it seem like her character had died in a fire.
Okay.
And so then a couple episodes later, this like old Asian guy showed up. And for like 6 episodes, this old Asian guy was like trying to buy the property. And then after like 6 episodes, they revealed it was her in disguise. But not only did they do that in the show, they did it behind the scenes, wherein that she had her makeup done at a separate location, and they didn't tell any of the cast who was working with her. And after a while, like the cast that worked with her were like, that dude's in heavy makeup, we don't understand, like there's something going on, that's not just a dude, there's something behind that. They thought it was like a famous actor they were trying to hide. They didn't realize it was their co-star that they had been told was killed off.
That's awesome.
And it was, so they told everybody that she was a famous Chinese actor that didn't speak English. So they had a translator with her at all times so that she didn't have to interact with the other cast members, and told them she was memorizing her lines phonetically so they wouldn't try to talk to her.
That's rad.
That's really awesome.
I like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, not to tie back to Doctor Who a bit, but like, I would love for people to actually be able to pull off a gigantic, like, they tell nobody who the Doctor is.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things we never actually spoke about. I told you off air, like, 2 months ago, I was like, I bet you anything, there are rumors off the site that not only is the Master coming back for a few episodes in the original Cybermen and all this, which they showed that one part in the trailer, but I have this feeling that BBC is so nervous because Capaldi, like, they feel they're hemorrhaging viewers, that I think they've already cast the guy. And they're not going to talk about it at all. The press will at some point start catching on, but I really do think that it's going to be...
I don't have any confidence that anybody can pull that off anymore.
Well, no.
In the days of Twin Peaks, it was still possible. But...
Now, in all seriousness, for the most part, Star Wars did it. And Guardians, Guardians had a lot of leaks. But Star Wars, like, the only thing and they cut that stuff out and they reshot it. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, it can be done, but it costs money.
I mean, Lost went through major hoops to keep things secret. I mean, Twin Peaks, they even had her like make up a false Asian name and put it in the credits so they didn't have to reveal she was in the episodes.
Yeah,
that kind of level of stuff is just not done.
I kind of wish...
And with the internet and everybody having a camera on their cell phone...
No, that's true. No, you're right. It's well, okay, here's the thing. It's not impossible.
I don't think Catherine could have pulled it off today, is what I'm saying.
It's very...
Piper Laurie. I don't think she could have pulled that off
It's
today.
very probable
Yeah.
that it will not happen.
Right.
And that she could not do that again, that they will not do that with the Doctor. But there's still a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance.
So...
Awful movie.
Yeah. What? No, I actually enjoy that movie now.
That movie's awful.
It's funny.
I tried to watch the sequel. It was not good.
Outside what they show in the trailer, that's the only good part
The
of the
trailer was so funny that I was like, oh, I really, really hate Dumb and Dumber, but maybe the sequel will be good because the trailer is so good. No, you're right. Everything funny was in the trailer. The movie sucked.
Yeah.
As bad as the first one.
Now, I think you saw me post it, but you know who did a good Twin Peaks episode?
Psych?
Guess who's coming back for a movie?
I know.
Psych.
Oh, but I did rewatch the Psych Twin Peaks episode now that I got all the references and actors.
Nobody talked about that one.
It's not until December.
It doesn't matter, but like usually...
They haven't filmed it or anything yet.
I thought they've filmed some stuff for it.
I don't think so. I think they're just getting ready to start production, so they announced it.
Well,
the thing I most regret about Psych, and I watched every episode, and I enjoy Psych very much.
Yeah.
There were some times in the middle I almost stopped watching because it got too procedural for me, but then they did some really cool things that kept me going.
Actually, one of those things is they started doing parodies all the time of which...
The Twin Peaks episode I loved, even though I got nothing. Rewatching it now, I got everything, and it was glorious. The amount of detail that went into that episode. And then I watched the full hour with the Paley Fest where the Psych guys and the Twin Peaks guys did the interview. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, the thing that I regret most is dismissing Timothy Odmanson as, whatever, Lassiter, not really ever. And now, having watched Timothy Odmanson in Galavon and hearing him in Thrilling Adventure Hour, I am such a Timothy Odmanson fan now that when Psych comes back, the person I am most excited to see again is Lassiter.
Yes, I agree. The thing
Timothy Odmanson, please come send me your voice to guest star in Radio Hour.
The thing I am interested in, and maybe this is sad of me, but in real life, James Roday and what's her name, Jules, were dating in real life. They were engaged, and then
they broke up. As Hollywood couples do.
As they do. Yeah. There are rumors out there that he cheated on her.
Aww.
And publicly with Mandy
James
Moore.
Roday seems so cool.
Because they were shooting a pilot together, and then when that pilot didn't get picked up, then she got This Is Us.
She was better off.
Maggie
This
Lawson.
Is Us is excellent.
I agree on both cases for both women. But I like James Roday as an actor doing Sean.
He's creatively very brilliant. I mean,
he's a good director actually too. I saw one of his horror movies where it's like they're technically in a diner. I mean, it's not my jam usually, but
I do think that's where Psych got better, is when he got more involved in the creative process and started writing episodes and doing a lot of the stuff that they did. Like Twin Peaks episode was his baby.
Oh yeah,
that was all him.
Actually, a lot of the weird sci-fi horror ones are like that. Like the Friday the 13th one, was it Thursday the 12th?
I don't remember. I loved the Clue one.
The Clue one was so good.
I loved the musical. I loved the finale.
The finale was really good. But I am intrigued how they're going to do that because Sean and
they're bringing back Despero?
Yes. At this point, they kind of also have to, in my opinion, at least mention her. They need to bring back the Yin Yang Killer.
Oh, that would be cool.
Which is
she's dead though, isn't she?
I thought she went away.
I thought they killed her off.
Did they kill her off?
I thought they did. I could be wrong.
I thought they were going.
They killed off the other guy. The other half of the Yin Yang Killer,
which was her dad, right?
No, it was what's his face, Jimmy Simpson. Right?
No, he survived.
It all blurs. It's
because
been so long.
I think they were going to kill him, and they're like they actually like him, so they kept him alive. I thought he showed up in the finale.
I swore she died.
Maybe she did die. Because didn't she die in his arms?
I thought so.
I apologize. Yes. Well, then fuck that. Damn it. Well, no, she did a video or something. I don't know. I like actors. I would like when I bring them back. Somehow.
I'm glad they said the entire main cast is back.
And
hopefully Buzz makes a cameo.
Buzz. Oh, I forgot about Buzz.
So I've been doing the West Wing rewatch.
With the podcast, right?
With the podcast with Josh and Lee. I'm 2 episodes behind on that, but I've been keeping up pretty good.
With and Gus.
But the reason I'm thinking of this, Dule Hill. Yes, Gus was hard. Dule Hill's character is hardly in the final season of the West Wing because he got psych. So he only did a couple episodes, I think 5 episodes of that final season.
Are they already that far in?
What?
Sorry.
No, I'm on season 3. But the reason I brought it up is Kristen Nelson, who played the chief on Psych, played Dolores.
I'm going to say Umbridge.
I know, I almost said it.
Good job for catching yourself, though.
Dolores Landingham, the president's secretary, who was played by Catherine. What's her face?
God,
yeah, that's dead now, but she wasn't at the time. They killed the character off at the end of season 2.
Who's also, she made all the rounds, but I remember her particularly after
Desperate Housewives.
Well, I remember her from Scrubs as my old
Oh,
lady,
yeah, Scrubs too.
That's the episode you realize this is what Scrubs is and could be, and you're just like, oh my god.
So they did flashbacks of a younger version of her character, and it was Kristen Nelson, and she not only captured but she it wasn't an impression, but she had the speech pattern and the mannerisms and everything down so well.
Yeah, she did. I did watch that episode.
She was
because she knew Bartlett back in college, didn't she?
Right, yes, and apparently
that's what it was.
Catherine Justin, that's the actress name I was trying to think of that played Landingham.
Yeah.
Catherine Justin and Kristen Nelson had worked together as mother and daughter in a failed sitcom. And so when they were looking to cast a younger version of Catherine Justin, she said, get Kristen Nelson. And Kristen Nelson did a terrific job.
That's awesome. See, now, okay, now, what are your thoughts on this? Because I think you and I have had a conversation. Like, look, that show is awesome because it gave us Bradley Whitford that we all love. Like, he'll do the cheesy roles, but he's a really good actor, too. He can do the meatier stuff.
I love Bradley Whitford.
But I also said when I started actually watching The West Wing, I think I'm in the middle of season 3 still just because other things came up and I got busy. I do love that show, though. It's amazing.
It is.
But I did kind of lament to you. I was like, you can tell that this is kind of a crash course for... what's the writer's name? Sorkin on doing television a little bit, because it's like he started off with Rob Lowe kind of being the lead, and then he just is like, I don't really know.
And then Bradley Whitford became the lead.
Well, and again, I was like, I don't know how to write for you, and so
that's the same thing that happened with Moira Kelly, who starred in the first season.
Yeah,
and you saw her less and less as the season went on. And she never returned for season 2, and they never mentioned her, explained her absence. But they said, she's a terrific actress, but there's a difference between being a terrific actor and being a Sorkin actor. Sorkin has a very specific style, and not everybody can handle the way he does things, and she never got what he was doing, and she never fit in.
Right, and that sucks. But here's the thing, though, is Rob Lowe did. I guess that's my thing, though, is that, and I just feel like that's Sorkin I feel like that's one of his failures with that show, is like, I don't think, now granted, look, I
don't see it as a failure.
Look, I wrote kind of, and I say that
he got into it and he realized the show needed to go in a different direction.
I say that very lightly, but here's the thing, if you're not writing stuff that is making that character interesting, really, and
I thought Rob Lowe's character was interesting. He just wasn't the lead.
And I don't want him to be the lead because I feel like honestly, the real lead should be Bartlett.
Well, Bartlett wasn't even supposed to be in the show.
Exactly, and again, it's him fumbling his way, figuring out. I hit the microphone. Figuring out how to do. He's stumbling along, finding the show as we're watching it and seeing the show, which that's
to
also
some extent, but you also have to let a show grow in the directions that it naturally grows.
Well, yeah, but I don't think if he could have started The West Wing over again, I think he would have started right out of the gate with Bartlett. Yeah. I really do think so. He would have actually, the show that became in season 2 onward, I think he would have started it like that a little bit. I just feel like
I wish the show had continued, or I wish they'd bring it back.
I wish...
Like Netflix. Let's do a new administration, but we'll check in with our favorites.
I actually like what they were... Now, granted, Sorkin, I don't think would have done that. But I liked what they were trying to do before they got canceled officially. Now, granted, the one actor passed away, too, who played Leo.
John Spencer.
He passed away. Rest in peace.
It would have been Alan Alda, and it would have been great.
Well, but I like the idea that didn't they actually open it up to people to vote, or no, they didn't.
No.
I actually would be very intrigued with something like that.
Let the people vote?
Yes.
That would be kind of cool.
Because
but they need to give pretty equal screen time to the two competitors.
Oh, definitely.
And they never did that. Jimmy Smits always had way more time than Alan Alda on screen.
I would.
Which was how they designed it, because Jimmy Smits was the Democrat, so the heir apparent, and Josh, who was really the main character of the show, was working for Jimmy Smits, so of course he got way more time. But I dug everything they did with Alan Alda and Patricia Richardson. Who played his campaign manager?
Well, who was John Goodman during that too? Because
John Goodman was middle of the show. He was like the Speaker of the House that took the Oval Office briefly.
Oh, okay.
But then, because John Spencer died and he was Jimmy Smith's vice presidential candidate, they rewrote it so that Alan Alda lost the election. Because they didn't want Jimmy Smith's character to lose his vice president and the election in the same day.
I got you.
Because Spencer died while they were filming. They had taken a break and they were coming back, and the next episode they were filming was the election results.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was rough.
Damn.
I remember watching that when it first aired, and it was so rough to get through because all of those characters had just lost their friend. The actors had just lost their friend. So the grief they were displaying for the character was so real.
And the other thing is interesting, too, is that that's not probably at all how Sorkin would have done anything.
The end would have been Sorkin would have done something different.
Well, and that's fine. But
yeah.
I
thought it had a terrific ending, too.
Yeah, now see, I'm not that far yet. We've talked about this many times before, like off and kind of on the show.
I spoiled it for you, but you don't mind spoilers.
No, I don't. Now, if it was like the Sixth Sense kind of thing, I would have been kind of pissed.
Bartlett has been dead the whole time.
No, he's not. I would have read that somewhere by now because the show's been out for so long.
So damn good.
I'm
looking forward to getting to the part of the show where Joshua Malina's in the show because I know that's going to make the conversation so much more awkward.
Oh, I see. He was one of my favorite parts of that. Was that Out of Sight?
Night.
Because that was okay. I have stood up for it on the show in retrospect. I didn't love it, but his character was the best part of that show.
In Plain Sight?
Yeah.
That's what that was Mary McCormick's show, wasn't it?
Yeah.
She was also on the West Wing with him.
Yeah.
Oh, she's making a little noise. She woke up.
Oh, you fussy. Did she poop?
We will find out. She hasn't peed. The stripe's still yellow, but doesn't mean she hasn't pooped. The stripe only turns for pee.
Oh.
You have to actually look inside. Nope, no poop.
Oh, thank God.
Why?
I don't know. I don't want to be here for the pooping.
Oh, it's fine. You don't have to change it.
I know. Well, I know that. I will probably have to at some point. So, there's nothing wrong with baby poop, people.
Changing diapers isn't bad. Nothing wrong with baby poop, but man, she's had some explosions where she's ruined outfits, and you might as well just take her to the bathtub.
You're not making me excited.
That happens with every baby.
I don't care. Look,
you won't mind as much when it's your baby.
No, okay, Jimmy, I can barely handle looking at my own shit now.
You won't. It's different with a baby.
Now, granted, I don't sit there. The way that comes off, it makes me sound like I attempt to stare at my own poop.
Yeah,
I don't.
You don't at least check it out, see what size it is, see how you did.
The only thing I do is I check to see if it's floating because the doctor told me once
floating is
healthy, and that's the only time I will.
You don't ever wonder like how big a load you just dropped.
No,
I always check the size and shape.
You look at it by default. You're going to see that anyway. So
not necessarily. You can wipe and flush without looking.
Well,
but you always gotta look.
That's insanity.
You always gotta look.
That's insanity, Jimmy.
Yeah.
And do you even poop anyway? You're a lizard.
No, I poop pretty much daily these days. I've gotten way more regular.
I am such an asshole to you at all times. It's so funny. I was telling my wife, I was like, I'm Rocket Raccoon. I just treat Jimmy so horribly.
Oh, no.
No, I mean, I really don't. But, like, sometimes verbally, I will be very just, like, the other night, like, all fair, I said, during audition, Jimmy will leave the microphone up for the cast members if it's all been done. And I did my audition, and what did I say?
You were like, at the end, you were like, by the way, this is Nick. Fuck you. You fucking know who I am, motherfucker, or something like that.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Fuck off. Like, yeah.
I thought it was funny.
Well,
I shared it with my wife.
It's funny in retrospect.
It's funny because I know you weren't being malicious.
I'm not being malicious.
Hated me and you did that.
No, I don't hate you at all. Not at all.
No, I know you don't. But I'm saying if you did, I would be like,
please don't let's not make this too touchy-feely because I'm going to cry.
Oh, Nick, I love you.
Oh, fuck you. I hate you so much.
I know, but I love you
Jesus,
anyway.
and I don't really mean that.
I know.
God damn it.
Zoe loves you too. She's looking at you.
No, she's not. Now she is. For a second, now she's over here. She's looking at my fat left arm. And then she's looking over here. See, I'm doing this right now. I'm waving my hand in the air. She don't give a fuck. She is actually, I think, are you looking right here?
Oh, she's just looking at everything.
You're looking at the collars.
She's taking it all in. Oh, one last show, because I know we've gone a long time. But did you watch Trial and Error?
We really have gone a long time. This is a lower recording episode of... For you, it's a long time. He's not done this in a while.
It's true. Did you watch Trial and Error? John Lithgow's new sitcom.
I have heard it's so good.
It was amazing. I'm really hoping it gets renewed.
You know what we have not talked about, I think, on here is, or have we? The Good Place?
I don't know if we've talked about it.
Not the finale.
I don't think we talked the finale. No.
That is good. Well, those were kind of airing around the same time.
Was it bad? Because The Bad Place.
Is what
that was a great twist.
It was. I
saw,
because we talked about off air, I think, but you were like, I knew that going in. I was like, no,
I did not going into the series.
I thought you said in the pilot you thought it for a second, and then they didn't do that, and they kept...
I did, and when we got to the finale, like from the beginning of the finale, I'm like, no, I dismissed that idea early on in the series. There's no way, and then. But they did it in such a way that I wasn't mad about it. Like, I dismissed it because I thought it didn't quite gel with what they'd shown, and I thought it wouldn't make sense. But when they finally revealed it, it made sense.
And what's great is that if that show would have ended, that would have been a great ending, too.
It would have been.
It would have been
But,
great. I do want to see a happy ending. Second season. I would like to see a happy ending for them.
I'm really excited for villainous Ted Danson.
I love Ted Danson.
I do too. And he doesn't really play a true villain most of the time. Like, he'll play grumpy characters, but not like evil characters. And this character is fucking evil.
Yeah, which is pretty awesome. Which makes Adam
especially because he got to be bumbling nice the whole first season.
Yeah, so good. But no, I have not seen... I've seen clips of Trial and Error, and every clip I've seen has been
You have to watch
amazing.
it.
Well, I want to watch it with the missus because we watch stuff together sometimes, which is kind of frustrating. I love you, but seriously, it's frustrating, honey. Because I have to wait on her sometimes. Yeah. Like, okay, I will say this.
Sherry Shepherd in that show.
Oh, she's in that?
Yeah, she's one of the leads. Oh. She is so funny. She has so many disorders. Like, when we first meet her, we realize she doesn't recognize faces. So she doesn't, like, if you walk in and you're like, hi, and you're somebody she's seen every day of her life, she still won't recognize who you are until you say, I'm Nick. And then you find out all these other disorders she has as the series goes on. Like, she is the most fucked up person. And she plays it with such innocence and delight. I love Sherry Shepherd.
No, don't tell me. Don't tell me if John Lithgow killed the person or not.
That's the thing. Even if you know whether he's guilty or not, you don't know if he's guilty or not. Like,
because it's a joke.
Well, because even if he did it, which I won't say whether he did or not.
Yeah.
What are his reasons for doing it? And is he maliciously trying to get away with it? Or is he just fucking around? Or is he playing a Kaiser Sose? What is going on? So not only is there the question of if he did it, but if he did do it, what's his game?
Okay.
Now, I will tell you, by the end of season 1, they tied it up very nicely, where if it had ended, it would have been a complete story as well, and you do know if he did it or not at the end of season 1. However, should it get renewed, and it's still up in the air, I'm still waiting to hear, and I'm hoping it will, but not hugely optimistic. If it gets renewed, there's definitely room for a second story, but this story was pretty complete. Jayma Mays was great in it.
Oh, I didn't know she was in it.
She's kind of the villain of the piece. She's the other lawyer that's trying to send John Lithgow to jail because she wants him on death row. She wants him executed because she wants to be district attorney, and she needs a big win.
Now, have you been watching Silicon Valley any this season?
I watched the premiere.
Oh my god.
Maybe episode 2? Definitely the premiere.
Yeah. So episode 2 was with the video app, right? Where they talked about like Dinesh went to go see the lawyer.
Last thing I saw, I think, was Dinesh was made the CEO.
Oh. You have... I mean, I'm 2 episodes behind now, but I've seen the first 3. I mean, it just...
You know,
I love that show.
I absolutely adore Silicon Valley. That is one I watch with my wife, Morgan, and this week was just crazy busy.
Yeah, sure.
I have not watched any of Veep yet this year, and I'm dying to
I am
watch
intrigued.
that.
I was actually going to ask you that, and I was like, ooh, I've seen Silicon Valley, though, so I'll ask that.
I'm not behind on Veep other than this season, and probably sometime this week, because I'm home most evenings this week, I'm going to sit down and catch up on Silicon Valley and Veep.
I need to... Well, here's the thing. I was watching Veep for a bit, and I just kind of felt like, okay, I don't love it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, Julie Louis-Dreyfus as an actress, like, she's a wonderful actress, but sometimes comically, I am on point with her, or sometimes I'm not, and And this is the point of the show. This is the point of the show. She's very Michael Scottish.
Yes. Oh yeah, she is.
And as I said before, I have to kind of work my way into that character if you're like that, because I don't like embarrassing characters like that where you just want to like go, oh God, please stop.
So have you watched any of it?
I watched the first season and a half.
Okay, so you're not anywhere. So Woos and I were talking about Julia Louis-Dreyfus and Veep. The thing with that, we were talking about award shows, and I firmly believe that if an actor wins an Emmy for a role, they shouldn't be able to keep winning an Emmy for the role. But I said if there's going to be an exception, Julia Louis-Dreyfus is the exception, because every year on Veep, she somehow tops the previous year. And every year I'm like, I have been watching this woman for decades on television.
Yeah.
How can she still blow me away with how great she is? How can she still surprise me? They did an episode last year where she was waiting on these election recount returns to find out if she was going to get to stay in the Oval Office or not, after her very brief run after the president resigned of being president. And they were doing recounts. And her mother goes to the hospital in intensive care and is dying. And the whole episode is her by her mother's hospital bed. She hates her mother. They have a very complicated relationship. She really hates her. And so she is there because she feels like she has to be for optics, but is really concerned about the election results and keeps wanting to talk about that, not her mother's condition. And it may be the most brilliant half an hour of television I've ever seen an actress perform, because she captures the subtlety of, even though she hates this woman's her mother and she also loves her, while still being totally uncaring and in the moment on the election stuff. Like, she threads that needle so perfectly. And at the same time, her relationship with her daughter, Catherine, is such an interesting relationship that sometimes seems like it's ignored, but it's not.
Oh, the daughter's still on the show?
Yeah, she's around a lot.
I remember the first few seasons, she's barely there.
She is, and they put her in more and more, but so many episodes she's there in the background, and then after a while you realize why that's important, and you realize what's going on. And so the thing about her daughter is, I think the reason she's so often shoved aside is because that's what Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character, Selena, does to that character. But it's important insight to both of them, and it all ties together so beautifully. It's
awesome.
It is better than Silicon Valley. Yeah, I will say it.
No, I'm fine.
And I adore Silicon Valley.
They're not really the same show. I don't go
not at all.
I don't go to Silicon Valley for actually like wonderfully caring characters or whatever.
Sure.
Like I want to get behind. I mean, I kind of want them to halfway succeed. I was telling someone at work today this. I want them to actually succeed and then become Galvin Bessing or Galvin. I want them to become that, where they just become so warped and then they lose everything because of that.
Morgan gets frustrated watching it because of all the losses. Like, she's rooting for them, and then they
lose. Yeah. Well, and someone, I think Alec Berg, the creator, did say they will never win.
Yeah.
And that to me is like, no. You got to let them win at some point, only to take it away from them.
Oh.
No.
I see what you're saying.
Okay, look. You're not there. I know. Are you even still... Because we didn't talk about this. We haven't talked about this in a while. Are you still reading Marvel Unlimited?
Yeah.
Okay. So, this is years and years till you get there. But one of the things I like about Dan Slott writing The Amazing Spider-Man is that for years, what's the one thing that Peter can never do well? Is he can never hold a job down. He's always like, but what if he gets the job? What if he excels enough that he keeps the job? He keeps implying himself. He actually succeeds, and things look like they're working out. Only the whole time that you're threading the needle just enough that it's all being very barely held together by the web that Peter, and until finally it breaks. And then build him back up again. Because that's the thing, is that with Peter, you start off with, at least if you've read it for years, you're just like, or even now, you're just like, he's going to get the job, but he's going to lose the job because he had to go be Spider-Man at some point.
Yep.
Yeah, this was like, no, he finds a way with the old Parker luck, as it were, to keep the job, then become a CEO of but that's over the last almost 10 years of him writing Spider-Man. He now runs Parker Industries.
Nice.
Right, but like, that's awesome, because usually he would get it, and within maybe 5 issues, he would lose it. No, every time it feels like it's going to go that way, he keeps saying, and then so that way his fall is even harder. And so I think that look,
I see what you're saying.
I feel like Silicon Valley could do that. And you know what? It's actually kind of, you know what? Selena, that's her name from Veep, right?
Selena Myers.
She was the president. She
was,
lost it.
Briefly.
And she lost it.
She did.
But you know what? She can get back there again and then lose it right again. And you know what? And that's okay. Because you're still going to love those characters.
The creator of the show
He left.
Yes. But the showrunner, they were talking, the guy that took over running the show last year, which was the recount year. Because they ended on the cliffhanger the previous season that she was in president, and she was president very briefly, and then she ran for re-election, and it was too close to call, and they had to do a big recount like George W. Bush, Al Gore style. And he said when they started writing that season, they were trying to figure that he knew from the beginning she had to lose the election. And that did not occur to me. I'm like, this is the lead. She's in the Oval Office. She just got there. They did 4 seasons of her being vice president. She's going to stay in the Oval Office. That's all I thought. The new season's a year later, and they've all moved on in different directions.
I hope they. I mean, I know he's back, but I hope he's in more episodes. I'm intrigued by Hugh Laurie.
Oh, Hugh Laurie's been so good on that show.
I just love Hugh
He was
Laurie.
in a lot of last season. He was in a little bit of the season before.
Did you watch any more Chance on Hulu? Because I remember we both talked about the pilot.
No, but I loved the
episodes.
pilot so much.
And because here's the thing, he is such a good actor, but I think if he can do like a dramatic, did you ever see Tomorrowland?
Not yet.
Okay. If you watch it, first off, you need to get it on DVD to watch it.
Okay.
Don't rent it because you need to watch some of the deleted scenes.
Okay.
Or the DVD extras, or the menus.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they are deleted scenes that just fucking inform his character. But it's Hugh Laurie being funny.
Right.
And then when you watch the movie, you're like, oh no, that's cataloging way in advance what you're about ready to see. And so it's awesome. That to me is okay. But when he plays the typical serious character, I just... I love it, but then I also just oh God, I just want you to be funny again but look, I get it. He wants to do that stuff too, and I will always try to watch him, but he's
terrific in Veep.
I like him when he's funny too. So, all right, we've talked about a lot.
We have. I almost let my TiVo eat something.
Oh,
we're good now.
We laughed, we learned, we loved. The TiVo is not hungry anymore. Or actually, it's still hungry.
It's still hungry. I almost lost recording because I forgot to make sure it wasn't going to...
But we're okay now.
Yes, we are.
And you know what? It's also okay. If you have any thoughts about what we talked about, goodbadgeeky@gmail.com.
Shove them up your ass. Oh.
That as well. But before you do that, email us first, and then when you hear our
then print the email, then shove it up your ass.
That's Jimmy.
I love paper cuts in your sphincter.
I love your comments, whether even if you hate me. Or what we said. So goodbadgeeky@gmail.com, goodbadgeeky on Twitter, goodbadgeeky on Instagram. If you have thoughts for Judge Jimmy,
shove those up your ass.
Yeah, but give them to me first too, but not covered in shit. That's weird.
If you give them to you first, they wouldn't be covered in shit yet. It's if you shove them up your ass first.
But that's
then
what I'm saying. You're saying
shove
them up your ass, and I'm just trying to say don't do that yet. Give them to me first, and then
shove them up your ass.
Yeah, so that way I can get them and use them for sweet nectar of our show. By the way, someone said to me that we should do an actual full-on, an actual court case thing, and I was like, that's insane. That's insanity. No.
Judge Jimmy works because it's a short bit.
Give Nathan a chance to actually research what he's going to talk about.
No.
And I was like, that just won't be as funny.
No.
So I digress. But yeah, thanks for listening, everybody.
Have a delightful evening.
Get out of here without cheese! You're a creep! Go away! We're having a good time until you start up, cheapers! Go have some coffee with cream or something! Because I'll tell you something! This is a happy place!